Hi Vancouver, I'm Ben Lee and you're watching the 24 Hours podcast. That's why this says 24 hours. Like if it was a different show, it'd be so weird I'd be holding this mic.
Music, sprinkle sugar through it. Philosophy that you can dance to. The price of oil is at an all-time high and rising. Global warming threatens life as we know it on this planet. Our leaders have not committed to a plan of action on renewable energy.
Ben Lee, a brand new album, The Rebirth of Venus. And though you're not a very old man, you've been doing this a long time. You're quite a veteran.
Yeah, I've been making records for about coming up to 17 years.
17.
Yeah.
And was it ever the plan to be a prolific recording artist, or did it just sort of happen that way?
I think I've not been that prolific. I've been doing it a long time, but really, like, say I've made 10 albums or something in 17 years, that's not that much. Like, these days I make, 2 or 3 albums a year. And that's quite a lot, but I think I'm making up for lost time. There was times where I made one every 2 years or something, so it's not that much, it's just a long time.
And I just heard you speaking about the fact that you kind of need to do songs that you enjoy doing, because if you're going to be touring and playing the crap out of these songs for a long period of time, you better pretty much enjoy them to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the atmosphere of the music. Like, whatever you put on a record, coming out there, talking to people about it, like, it's all going to be centered around the emotion and the atmosphere of the music. So I want to put something out there that's hopeful and positive, and that'll draw sort of positive things towards me, I guess.
Spoke to you about a year and a half ago on one of your trips through town, and you had said that though you don't really get a chance to experience the vibe of each city, every area sort of has its own essence. You've been through Vancouver enough times. What's the essence of our city?
It's very different to Regina.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is that a compliment?
That's a compliment, for sure.
I meant it as an insult. No, okay. What's it like? It's actually quite a lot like Sydney. That's why I think there's a lot of Australians up here. But yeah, pretty much whenever I'm here, it's like rainy and pretty, and sort of, it's not, the cool thing about it is it's like, seems like a big city that's not totally cutthroat, the way like New York or Chicago or that sort of atmosphere is. So yeah, I've always enjoyed myself up here. It's great. I don't know. I'm not an expert on it. I like it.
I read an interview that said you're a fan of Lost. How does it end?
I don't know. I'm waiting too, but I've loved, I only got into it like a year or so ago. I started watching the DVDs when I had my wisdom teeth out. And we're on tour now with this band Low vs. Diamond, and they're really into it too. So we had a big Lost discussion the other day, and it's a deep show, man. That is a really deep show.
Okay, if Ben Lee could write the final script, how would it conclude?
I think it would emphasize the fact that this island is a state of mind. The essentially what it seems to me like what the show says to me is about the experience of dealing with your past and facing your karma and making peace with things and that. So I'd like to see it end in a way that sort of like emphasize the internal nature of it rather than and then aliens landed and put this, what I mean? To me, that's sort of a cop-out.
You've got some acting in your past. Would that be the kind of thing you wouldn't mind doing a walk-on part in?
Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't want to be on Lost? It doesn't even to be a walk-on. I'd be like a dead body on that show. I'd be a cadaver. Yeah.
You were voted PETA's sexiest vegetarian. Is that an honor? What do you feel about that?
I don't, yeah.
Do you view yourself as a sexy vegetarian?
Well, I eat seafood. So yeah, I'm not sure. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's true. Is that true? People keep telling me that, but I don't know if it's true. I find it really hard to believe, actually. Like, not in a way like, oh, wow, I'm shocked, it's hard to believe. Like, actually, I don't believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
What is... well, you know what? Wouldn't you rather be voted that than least sexy vegetarian?
No, I mean, I actually don't believe I was voted.
No, you were voted.
I don't know. It says it on Wikipedia. I don't trust that shit. Yeah.
What's the future hold for Ben Lee? Obviously, you're touring around again. You seem to come here every year and a half or so. Where do you go from Vancouver?
Seattle. Yeah.
And then the tour
play there. Yeah, then go home for a couple of days. I mean, music is, I just got married. I'm having a baby, and so life's changing. And I mean, playing music and making records, it's always happening. It just happens in different ways. So I'm building a studio at home at the moment. So I want to put out more music. But I don't have an exact plan particularly.
Any musical advice from from your father-in-law?
Not so much advice. I mean, he just has a great, his connection was interesting. it's interesting. He has a strong connection to like Scottish folk songs and Celtic stuff that is his history, and it's interesting for me because my history is kind of Russian, German, gypsy music and stuff, and I don't feel very connected to it. But when you see someone like Donovan has that sense of where he fits in the chronology of music and his ancestry, and that it sort of makes me curious to explore the music that I came from in my family history more.
What about Lindley family moments? You ever pull out the guitars and jam together?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's always music around Ione's family, and that was a big the first Christmas I spent at her house before, like when I was 18, and everyone was playing guitars, and so it was the music's a big part of our life.
Thanks for talking with us. Enjoy Vancouver.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.